today we are going to be giving our dating advice for building a healthy relationship. So this can be for relationships in high school, in college, for adults, wherever you are in your stage of life. This advice can be helpful for anyone. Let's get into it. The first one is talk about your future goals in your relationship.
I think that's explanatory,
yeah,
right?
So is your goal to get married? And if so, is your goal to get married in 6 months, in 6 years, 1 year? That's pretty important because for one person it could be a year, another person it could be 6 years, and if y'all have different goals, y'all have to compromise, or y'all may not be willing to compromise, and it's actually really important to discuss those things.
Yeah.
And some people don't have the goal of getting married also.
Yeah, that is true. Especially in guys like I went to college with, they're just so career focused that it's like they want to get married, but yeah, it's later down the line. Like they'll date right now, but they're like, no, I'm not interested in marriage till I'm like late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
And some girls are not wanting to wait. Some people want kids too, which I think as you get older, if you're dating in high school, I don't know if kid conversations matter as much because you're gonna change your mind a lot. But as you get to your 20s and like later 20s, that's a pretty important thing too, because if you're like
kids.
Yeah. It's
how many kids do you want? When do you want kids? Yeah.
Yeah, especially if the mismatch is like someone wants 6 and the other one's like, I don't want any. Like you're not probably gonna make that work very well. So just knowing those future goals, because you could really start to fall for someone and then realize that their goals for life is just completely incompatible with yours, and then that would be a tough decision to make. Like, do you give up your desires just to continue dating someone, or do you find someone who actually wants the same things in life? Which hopefully there's someone out there that wants all the same things in life, because there is. I mean, we definitely want similar things. So
yeah. So once you are in a relationship, know that you are perfectly imperfect together. Neither of you are perfect. Don't put yourself on a pedestal. Don't put the other person on a pedestal. You're both gonna have imperfections, especially once you get even deeper into the relationship. You're gonna definitely see each other's flaws even more.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's even the cooler thing about it, is seeing the flaws of that person.
Yeah. It's like not everyone is 100% every day. Just handle the person with the grace you would want extended to you when you weren't having a 100% day. If she's not having a 100% day, I don't want to be like mad at her, because I want her to love me on the days that I'm not 100% as well, as far as like what I'm able to give emotionally or just as a supportive person.
Yeah, so if they're not having a good day, be there for them. Don't be mad at them. Adding on to that point, don't compare your relationship to other couples' relationships, whether it's your best friend's relationship or like the relationships you see on TV or in movies. You never know what's going on behind the scenes, like with your best friend's relationship, and then obviously what you see on TV just isn't realistic.
Yeah, and no two people are the same, so you can't expect any two couples to be the same either. Every relationship's gonna have different dynamics based off of who's in the relationship, and no one's like perfect at it. So there's not like a goal couple to be like, I'm gonna be like them. It's like, they're probably messed up too.
Yeah.
Find someone who has like a we perspective rather than a me. Some people date just to, or want to get married just to like be self-centered and be like, how can this person make me happier? How can this person do these things for me? And I think, maybe I'm wrong, I think that's more common in guys. If they want, like, especially like career-driven men, sometimes they're like, I want a wife to cook for me, I want a wife to like clean, I want a wife that like just completes me and does all this stuff for me, and then I don't have to change, type of thing. But like, you want to date someone who's like willing to see their relationship as like we rather than just me, and who's willing to like do things for one another, not just for themselves, and hope that their partner like serves them all the time, because that's a very selfish outlook. Both of you should want to serve one another, and it shouldn't be like an expectation. Early in the relationship, or maybe even before entering into a relationship, you need to talk about boundaries and expectations, especially when it like as it pertains to like sex, because some people go into a relationship expecting that and not wanting to wait till marriage. Some people want to wait to marriage. That is just a really big point of, in my opinion, what there needs to be agreement upon, because that can ruin a relationship very quickly. Like, we both wanted to save ourselves for marriage, and that's like what we did, and we were very thankful that like we both agreed on that, because that's something that we probably wouldn't have stayed together if the other like went in with different expectations. Like, we were like, no, we're waiting. And then I guess revisiting that throughout the relationship, just making sure that you're still on the same page and what you want out of it. Then there's another point of don't rush the relationship and take the time to like get to know someone. This definitely 20s people I think would relate to this more. As you start to see people getting married, you want to just rush and be like, oh, I like them enough, let's go get married. I think I like them. But I think it's important to still date. Just like continue to date someone. I can't say there's a right amount of time that you have to date someone before you get to know them well, but I do think it can sometimes be rushed, and then like we were saying, all those questions you need to be having with them about their expectations of like marriage and like kids and things like that. If you like skip over those and just like rush to get married, and then you find out like, oh, they actually don't want kids for like 6 years, like I was hoping we'd have them soon. Just don't rush the getting to know someone, getting to know their goals, getting to know what makes them happy in life, just to like get a ring on the finger and like be married. Because marriage isn't like a fix-all of happiness. Like, I think a lot of people think that it is. Well,
and I think a lot of people think it's just a status thing, or they're doing it to compete with others. You want to do it to also just be happy with the other person too. You want to make sure you're with the right person, be happy with that person.
Marriage is a lifelong commitment, and like you don't rush that type of stuff for someone that may not really meet all of what you want out of someone.
The next one is be supportive. Go to sporting events, dance competitions, like if your partner is involved in stuff like that. Surprise them with flowers, cakes, surprise dates. It just shows how thoughtful you are and how supportive you are, how much you love them. Especially early on, we kind of did stuff like that, and it just showed how much we thought of each other.
Yeah.
And I feel like in high school, it's really important to do that. But then even like in college, and then once you get engaged and married, it's important to do that too, because I feel like it's kind of, you don't hear about that as much when you get older. Like you don't hear of like 50-year-olds, like you don't hear about it as much. So it's important to like continue pursuing the person.
A life equivalent of like sporting events for later is like showing up to like their work events, I guess. Like if there's like work dinners that they have to be at, happily go, even though they're kind of boring probably. But just like supporting them in whatever they need to be working on or doing, showing up anyways.
Always be yourself. You can't really get to know someone if you're not being yourself. Don't be fake, just be yourself. That's really important.
Don't get caught up in the little things. Sometimes you're like really bent, I think as a guy, of like, they said this, they were wrong, and I'm not gonna budge. But like sometimes it's way more important to like love the person first and to like forgive, rather than just being like, what they said was wrong, I'm gonna get even with them, or whatever you think. If your goal is to love that person and put them above you, then just being right all the time is never the right answer to a happy relationship. Don't
settle for someone. Make sure you are actually attracted to them physically, to their personality, everything like that. I feel like a lot of girls, especially, they just really want to be in a relationship and get married young, so they just rush into being in a relationship. So make sure it feels right in your soul, you know? Obviously it's not all about looks, but I'm just saying like you actually feel in love with the person is what I'm trying to say. Don't settle like, oh, like I'm finally in a relationship, now I can get married. So
especially as like you get into your 20s, I think people see another person get married and they're like, oh my goodness, I need to get on that. It's like, some people, I know people that got married in their later 30s and they were happy. Like it doesn't, you don't rush just because you want to be in that
Don't
group.
compare yourself. Everyone has a different story. So be honest, communicate, enjoy each moment, because each season of your life is different. So really enjoy just the dating season. Those are all of our points. I think that they're all really important and good to be considered.
If you think of anything that we might have missed, put it in the comments. We like to hear what other people's like tips and help them in their relationships, because we're sharing what we've learned, but we are still young. We don't know everything at all. So we're still learning and going as we are living as well. So be sure to like and comment, and then we'll be here next week on our next video.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you all.
Bye.